So yeah, so these are the meetings. So I will, from now on, I will make sure that Lynn sends out all of the information to you, and just know that in the invite right now, we did send everything out, but we'll make sure that you all get the presentation in the minutes so you have plenty of time to look it over ahead of the meeting. So apologize if there was confusion.
It's just, I'm technically challenged, that's all.
No, it's okay. It's all right. I apologize for that. Angelica, let us know. Good to go.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Buncombe County Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting. It's great to see all of you here. I realize that there are some joining us virtually, and we're thankful for that ability. So we'll just start with Thomas, and go quickly around the room. If you are a staff person, if you'll tell us what your position is, and if you're an advisory board member, just let us know what area of the county you live in. And we'll start with Thomas.
Thank you, Carol. I am Thomas Gold. I'm the principal park planner for Recreation Services.
Thank you. Ms. Jill?
I'm Jill Carter, and I am the Open Space Farm Project Manager.
And she looks like she's just 16. She's really 84. And doing a great job going around the county explaining. I appreciate the meeting we were at the other day, the Ag Advisory Board. You did a great job with that. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Lena Richards, Advisory Board Member.
I'm Kevin Conricode, Advisory Board Member, and I live in Skyland.
Thank you.
Ann Babcock, Advisory Board Member, and I think I'm in District 2.
Great. I'm Carol Peterson.
I am Allison Daines, the Buncombe County Parks and Recreation Director.
I'm Adam Zinke, the Buncombe County Parks and Rec Office Administrator.
And Allie, can you hear us and let us know you're there?
Allie Howell with the Advisory Board.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If we could have a motion to approve the minutes of the April the 11th meeting, I'd appreciate that.
Motion proposed.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you very much. Allison, Director's Report.
Yeah, so the first thing that I want to say is that today is the 1-year anniversary of my becoming the Parks and Recreation Director.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure to be here for 1 year officially. I've really enjoyed it. I've really appreciated all of the support that I've gotten from the board here and the direction and the insight about where we're going, and just want to really appreciate you all for being so supportive and giving your time to be here. So thank you. And to the staff that has been working so hard on a variety of projects. So I just wanted to start with that. It's an honor to serve with y'all. Just a quick update. So we did bring the Beaver View Mountain proposal forward to commission, and we did get approval for a resolution for our department to explore Beaver View as a potential park or preserve, working with the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy. So we will be working with them, talking about possibility of fundings and moving forward with that project and coming up with numbers of what it would really cost to bring that online, and in perpetuity, what that would look like. So we'll be exploring that, and I'll be bringing updates to you all as we're moving that project forward. And I'll be getting, I'll probably be sending an email to you all finalizing some potential dates in the future for that. And with that, I did want to jump down. Other announcements is down there, but I wanted to actually put the Special Olympics into my report that we are having the official Buncombe County Special Olympics is this Thursday, May the 4th. And it will be at TC Roberson. It'll start at 9 a.m. and go until 12. We'll be doing opening ceremonies. Definitely invite you all, as you are able, if you would like to come for any or all of it, but opening ceremonies will be promptly at 9 a.m. at TC Roberson. So hopefully some of you can join, but we will be out there until at least 1 o'clock. Running games throughout the day, and it's always a great day to come out and interact with the great athletes that come out to be a part of that day. So very excited to have my first Special Olympics as their director here. I will let you know that there's no less than 1,200 attendees right now at this point. By Thursday, maybe up to 1,300 or 1,400. So there's a large number of athletes that will be there. So it's sure to be an exciting day. So with that, I conclude and turn it back over to you.
Well, it's going to be, we're looking forward to an exciting meeting. Thomas is bringing us up to date on the Greenway criteria. So I'm just going to give it to you, Thomas.
So, as we discussed last meeting, this meeting is for the board to approve the Greenway criteria. It's been quite a process. As you know, we initially came to the board in February to discuss the criteria. We received quite a bit of feedback from both the board, the public, and other stakeholder organizations within the community as well. And I think the feedback we've received has been great and helped us to shape it in a way that we can actually get some great Greenway projects accomplished through the open space bond in the county. So with that, I'm not going to rehash a lot of the criteria that we've seen, but I'm actually going to ask Jill to kind of speak to what has happened since the April meeting, just because the community engagement process has continued since that meeting, and we have changed the criteria some since that meeting. So Jill, if you'd like to talk.
Yeah, so as Thomas mentioned, we did share a refined set of the criteria at the April meeting. And since then, we were able to share that refined criteria as well with a key list of stakeholders that attended both the stakeholders meeting and the public meeting that we hosted in March. And share the refined criteria as well as the survey results that we shared at the last meeting as well, and get any additional feedback. We did receive some feedback about the criteria, not major requested changes, but some minor refinements of language and key points that Thomas will cover momentarily. Additionally, Thomas and I met with the partnerships subcommittee of Connect Buncombe, and we were able to talk them through the criteria as well as just the open space bond generally, and hear some additional thoughts that they had and incorporate some of those thoughts in the criteria as well. So Thomas is going to share what that refined set of criteria now looks like.
Yeah, so this is the same exact list of criteria that we shared with you last month, and the percentages remain the same. Largely, we did not receive any feedback that was kind of a major shakeup of those broad, bigger categories of criteria. So this largely remains the same. The qualifying criteria also largely remain the same. So, you know, I mean, something as simple as geographic location, there's not much you can do to kind of tweak that. I mean, these projects will have to happen within Buncombe County. They're going to have a feasibility study complete. We're kind of hemmed in by the scheduling and the timeline of the open space bond itself. So they have to be completed within that timeline. And then just the nature of how much Greenway project costs, we're going to have to leverage these funds. So all of those things kind of remained yes, no question qualifying criteria. As we dive into some of the weighted criteria, you'll notice that some changes were made to emphasize certain things within the weighted criteria. And I'm just going to really talk about those things that changed, not the things that we've already discussed. So in here, we did receive some feedback on that first bullet point there under connectivity, that they'd like to see more of an emphasis on connectivity to the state trail systems, especially the Fonta Flora and Mountains to Sea Trail. There is a third state trail in this county, which is the French Broad River State Trail. But mainly the feedback we received was around connecting into the Fonta Flora State Trail and the Mountains to Sea State Trail. The next kind of blue bullet point under connectivity was making sure that we really included that cultural resources and public art component within the greenways. So making sure that we're able to connect people with those kind of resources and public art was added to the connectivity category. Under environmental impact, we received some feedback that, you know, they really wanted to see, kind of a respect or a sensitivity, to sensitive ecosystems and wildlife corridors. We agreed with that feedback, so we added in that, sub-bullet point under environmental impact as well. Under the accessibility, criteria, there was a feedback we received that they wanted to place a little bit more emphasis on, kind of the multimodal connections and making sure that those multimodal connections had that ADA accessibility as well. Some of that would be able to be done within greenway design, but that's gonna have to be, looked at, in our multimodal, kind of master plan as well. And then for feasibility, this is some feedback we actually received from Ann, regarding the wording, and this one and another criteria about, you know, it's previously said, you know, that design right of way and construction were 100% funded. Instead, we changed that language to say, we would be taking into account the percentage of design right of way and construction funded. And then I missed, the kind of blue bullet point above that as well, but we did receive some feedback that they wanted that, you know, some of the topography, hydrology, and geographic features may also present opportunities as well as obstacles along greenway corridors. So just changing that language to reflect, taking that into account as well. We didn't receive any kind of significantly different feedback from the identified as a county-wide need or opportunity or priority. We did receive some kind of praise in the fact that we're kind of including some flexibility there in that last bullet point, that, you know, these needs might not be identified in the existing plans, but some of our existing plans are kind of dated, we'll say. And so if there are new needs that the county has kind of identified through staff or kind of recommendations of the public, we can take those into account as well. And with the equity point, there was really some wording kind of changes here, but we wanted to make sure that it was clear. So in the name of clarity, we wanted to make sure that we were prioritizing unincorporated communities that are traditionally at a disadvantage for funding. We also wanted to make sure we were prioritizing adjacency and connection to existing and planned low income and senior housing. So really, again, we had those kind of bullet points in there, but we wanted to make sure that we were clear on what we were doing with them. So making sure that we're emphasizing a priority there. And then it was just kind of a language thing here, but design for safety and having an action plan for safety so that all are welcome. Just more of a declarative statement there instead of feel welcome, but all are actually welcome. So that was the change there. So the leveraging of bond funds and project costs, this is similar to the feasibility change that was made, but again, the percentage of the project that is funded will be taken into account. Not necessarily that it is 100% funded, including Buncombe County Open Space Bond funds. And then we want to make sure to emphasize the fact that, you know, these bond funds will need to, or these projects will need to utilize not only bond funds, but grants from other funding sources, and making sure that the projects are taking all of those other funding sources into account, making sure that they're applying for those, such as funding from the NPO, the TPDF or TDA, and part of the NC Land and Water Fund. So, you know, looking at, you know, federal, state, and local funding sources for these projects is the way we have to go in this county. Project cost estimates are up to date as well. That was just something that carried over. But it was something that was asked during our most recent meeting with Connect Buncombe, because we do know that there are a number of feasibility studies that are out there that do have kind of dated cost estimates. So that those particular feasibility studies will need to have updated cost estimates in order to get kind of the bonus points associated with the leveraging of bond funds and project costs. And then finally, safety. We just wanted to make sure that, you know, the maintenance plan and the litter management plan were considered post-construction. So what do these projects look like? well into the future after construction is built. And then again, just a kind of a language change here, but we want to make sure, or we want to give preference to projects that involve public information campaigns and signages for greenway etiquette. So just adding the word campaign there to realize that, you know, this is going to be an ongoing effort within the county as more and more greenways come online, that we're really going to have to educate the public and how to use greenways and who has the right of way in certain situations and stuff like that. So that is the updates that we have for the criteria. So kind of our next action items here is that we would hope that there's a board action item to approve this final criteria, this particular meeting. And then we would hope to go to the commission in June for the adoption of the criteria. So that's what I have. Does anybody have any questions?
My big takeaway from this, and correct me if I'm wrong, my big takeaway is there was nothing that you had outlined in this weighted criteria that was taken away from all the meetings that you had, the people that you connected with, the groups that you connected with, the individuals who came to you, or staff recommendations. The main thing that happened was some wording was changed. A member of our advisory board that was the only full statement that I saw that was added at all. There was some explanation, there was a little bit of different wording, but nothing that you all had outlined through all your many outlets was changed. So the criteria has stayed the same.
Since the last meeting, you guys are correct.
Correct.
There
Yeah,
was
since we saw it.
numerous things that we added and
Absolutely.
changed.
Yeah.
From
But the
February.
fine tuning
Correct.
has not changed from what we saw last time and discussed.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And
There was nothing that we saw that needed to be taken out.
right,
And if there was, I would have had it included with a little like line across it. to make sure it
absolutely,
was-
absolutely. Okay, having, if everyone agrees to that, then we would entertain a motion that this board accept the proposal that has been given to us today. If anyone would make that recommendation, I would certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, I would propose or make a motion that we accept the criteria as written and presented here to be presented to the county commissioners for their approval.
Great. Anne has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Great. There's been a motion. Second, is there any discussion? I realize our bylaws don't recommend a second, but I think it's good to have that. So if we could have a vote on that, everyone in favor, please say aye. Aye. Great. And let me personally say, tremendous job, great work, everyone, and we appreciate that so much.
The level of detail is impressive.
Ally also voted to affirm in the chat.
Okay.
Ally voted to affirm in the chat, so it's
Thank you.
unanimous.
Does that
Thank you.
make it a quorum?
Yeah,
With her?
that's a quorum. We've got it.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it. I want to say, really appreciate the feedback and consideration from you all. Hopefully you saw that we really did go back, and by we, I mean Jill and Thomas. Really did go back and look at and analyze and have conversation and tried really hard to incorporate important points that we're bringing. And you know, fine tuning is important. It means a lot. And so thanks for y'all's feedback to that. And we appreciated community input that we've gotten, because we also received just some random emails, which was really nice because it means that the community is engaged. So we appreciated getting those emails as well as the feedback through our open forum and feedback channel. So appreciate this, and we'll move forward. We'll let you know the date that we're going to the commission is
June 20th.
It's something, thank you for that, Allison. It's something that we always forget to do is thank you to the CAPE team for all of the kind of public engagement and public input, kind of website work that they do, engaging the public for those random emails that we do receive. So thank you, CAPE.
Yeah, most definitely appreciate that. And so at the June 20th meeting, we'll bring this. You are more than welcome to come to be a part of that. They will have the opportunity for the public to speak in the beginning. So if you are so moved and would choose to do that,
You're talking about when the county commissioners
At the
will
county
be,
commissioners, yet that they, in the beginning, there's just generalized public, open.
okay, so
comments.
June 20th is when they will be.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it would be great to have somebody like
Mhm.
Carol, who is our leader,
Mhm.
speak in support of
Sure, sure.
these criteria.
Yeah, so we appreciate that. If I may, I took the announcement, but I have another announcement to make.
Well, go right ahead.
I did want to let you all know, as you do know, we put out an RFP for the design of our strategic-wide master plan for the Parks and Recreation Department. We have selected a firm and we are in the process of contracting with them. Once contract negotiation is finalized and we sign off, we will let you all know who that is officially.
Great.
But what that means is that we are right on target with our start date for June, because negotiations usually take a couple of weeks just to refine. And then we will have our master plan underway, and we will really start reaching out to you all and having conversations about how we're going to reach out to the community strategically and what will be included in that, and get information from you all about what you would like to see in a system-wide Parks and Recreation master plan. So I did want to update you that we are actively moving forward with that.
Can we have a powwow about the current master plan, the past one that was done,
Mhm.
so that we have a starting point of what we'd like to see improved?
I don't think there is much of one, is there?
There is one. I will share it. I will share it out ahead of time for everyone to review, and then we can have a conversation about the kind of strengths and challenges of that current plan. So I appreciate that. I'll send that to you all so you can review it too.
Well, if I can recap, we've had a great, exciting meeting. We've talked about the update about the Greenway criteria. We've talked about our master plan. We've talked about Special Olympics. Let me just underline what Allison has said. There's no better way to spend your Thursday and put your snowsuit on. It's gonna be what, 39?
39 in the morning.
39 in the morning, but it will be the most exciting, energetic group of young people together you will ever see. So please, if you have any time at all, come to Robertson High School athletic field. It will be full of squealing, excited young people. And it's a great time.
It's gonna be, we're super excited. I
It's,
couldn't get ready to come up the mountain, but.
oh, it's just a great, great time. And thanks to our recreation department for sponsoring it.
Most definitely. And Lynn sends her hellos. She is actually currently at a training for the Special Olympics. It's a statewide training, and that's why she's not here today. So
She's doing a great thing. Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for maybe June the 13th. Look forward to seeing you all then.
Can I ask a quick question?
Thank you so much.
I was wondering if there's any update on the grant applications for the community grants. Adam?
Yeah.
there is, as a matter of fact. Thank you. We apologize that we left that out.
We have currently, we have done the ranking, and we have sent our proposal to the budget for the grants we want to accept. But that's still the first round. We still have to do, they still have to undergo legal review and, a review from our grants department. So nothing's finalized yet. We can't announce any winners to any of the applicants just yet.
Do you remember about how many we will need moving forward?
I believe it was 17, although I just made that number up.
So you weeded down the ones that you got to 17, and then you're going to evaluate those 17.
Yeah, they have been evaluated by the team, so that we should consider them evaluated. It's more that we just have to get approval by legal in case there is some issue, in which case, the evaluations are done and we have that ranking, that list. So if one were to be deemed ineligible for some reason, either by the grants team or the legal team, they would have to be removed and it would go to the next one.
So they'll verify their nonprofit status and such. They submit all of that paperwork. They just verify that.
And how much money are we talking about? 120?
100,000.
100,000. Okay.
Adam
And
did not make that up. 17,
Good, way to go.
recommended.
17 recommended, yeah. It was really difficult. There was a lot of really good ones. I think I told you, I believe there was 31, there was something like 180,000 in ask. So we had a really great response that was out there. There was it was between 27 and 31 applicants. And so it was not an easy task to go through and evaluate. But we appreciate, all of the applicants and are excited to be able to offer what we can. And hopefully in the future, we'll be able to even offer more potentially as we start building our programs and reach out to the.
What is the
community.
top amount, 5,000? 6,000.
Which makes such a difference in so many groups across.
It sure
the county.
does.
At 6,000.
And there are folks that ask for less. That's the
Mhm.
maximum amount that you can get. There are folks that ask for like 2,300 or 3,000. So, yeah, so I appreciate you bringing that up. Is there any other questions?
Anything
Because
else?
we've made a lot. I know, I forget, because there's a lot going on. Is there any other updates that you would like to hear that we did not provide at this time?
I could update you. I got a puppy.
Oh,
Nice. Very good.
well, great. Again, thank you all for being here, and this meeting is adjourned.
Great. Thank you all very much for your
Yes,
time.
ma'am.
Thomas and Jill, thank you for meeting